Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're here to do my top 12 full-size games on the Oculus Quest platform. Now the reason I wanted to do this list is because a lot of people are always saying, oh, the Quest doesn't have full games. They always have mini experiences, and things aren't like a full-size game that you can get on PlayStation and Xbox. Well, this list right here is going to prove them all wrong, and there's some fantastic games, especially after this year and previous years before. There's so many great games that you lose yourself for hours and hours in VR, so let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
First one here coming in at number 12 is Bulletstorm VR. I think a lot of us know Bulletstorm and remember it from the 360 and PS3 days, and they brought the game over into VR, and after the few updates that they released, the game is in a much better state now. It is super awesome to play. You have basically the whole entire story in here that you can play through, so you have, 6 to 8 hours into this game that you could play. So it's a fully featured game, and the Bulletstorm franchise has always been one of my favorites. I have fond memories of playing this game actually in NVIDIA 3D Vision back in the day. So playing it in VR and still having that same fast-paced action FPS game, shooting enemies and killing them in unique ways and stuff like that, and kind of having that all in VR is super fun to replay and brings me back to those days. Bulletstorm VR coming in at number 12. The next one here coming in at number 11 is Marvel's Iron Man VR. Obviously, a lot of us love Marvel. I'm a huge Marvel fan, and the fact that you can actually be Iron Man in this game, and this was actually originally on the PlayStation VR 1, and I never thought it was going to be ported over, but here we are, it was ported over, and the game is just as good as you remember back then, now ported over to the Quest, where you have a full featured Marvel game where you get to be Iron Man in the beginning intro, where you kind of are flying in the air, and the Marvel uniform and stuff like that kind of come flying at you as you feel the pieces coming on your body. It's super awesome, and it really makes you feel like Iron Man. The flying, the shooting, and all that stuff. I've never felt more like a superhero in any game I've played in VR than this one right here. It is super fun, a nice adventure. It's about 5 or 6 hours. Iron Man VR coming in at number 11. The next one here coming in at number 10 is Tales from Galaxy's Edge. This Star Wars game was fantastic when it came out. They always do a great job with their Star Wars game, but this is the first one that we got from them that actually felt like a full-on story, and they even added DLC to it to add even multiple more hours into the game. So combining the DLC and the regular game, you could probably get like 10 hours out of this game, and it has a little bit of everything in here. It has a Star Wars story, it has the cantina that you can explore, it has the characters that you remember, it has a little bit of, gunplay that you can shoot your enemies. It also has, of course, some lightsaber duels and stuff like that. The story is interesting to follow, and I just love this game, and also the graphics are fantastic in this game on the Quest. I think they're really, really good, and if you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't played this, I urge you guys to check this out. It's my favorite Star Wars game in VR that I've played, even though there are some other ones that are good as well. But this one is my standout one, and being able to visit like certain locations that, from Galaxy's Edge, when I went to Disney World and stuff, and kind of seeing it in VR and kind of exploring it like that is also pretty cool as well. But yeah, they knocked this one out of the park. I hope that they have another game up their sleeve coming out at some point, because this one was really, really good. Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge coming in at number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. Man, when this first game got announced, I was like, no way, we're actually going to get a full-on Assassin's Creed game in VR where you can actually parkour all the buildings and run around like you do in Assassin's Creed and still have that combat and stuff. And Ubisoft really did pull this off when they made this game. This is a fantastic Assassin's Creed game. I've played a lot of the Assassin's Creed game, and this one definitely ranks up there as one of my favorites. Being in VR, being able to parkour, all the enemies and NPCs that they were able to get on screen and still have the graphics look amazing. I'll never forget when I first walked through the city and saw NPCs everywhere in this game. Again, another multiple hour game, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours that you could explore this game, and it's awesome. If you're an Assassin's Creed fan, you have to play this game. It's everything that you want in an Assassin's Creed game, with the combat, the exploration. You still have a feeling of it being a little open world, even though it's broken up into chunks, but the feeling is still there. The graphics are great. Jumping off a building and killing enemies and all that stuff is all still there. Falling to your doom there from jumping to a building into the areas down below is super awesome, and the puzzling and everything It's just a fantastic game. If you haven't played it, you need to, especially if you're an Assassin's Creed fan. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR coming in at number 9. The next one here coming in at number 8 is Arizona Sunshine, the remake. So they basically took the original game that they made and kind of updated the visuals and the graphics and everything to today's standards and made the game even better, even optimized the physics and stuff on what they did with their other game. And what happened is now we have a much better game than even what we have from the original. The remake is a fantastic version of the game, obviously the definitive version of the game, and it plays super well. The graphics are awesome. The gameplay is just as awesome as it was before. Going around killing zombies, exploring the world here, and how it all kind of started for them is awesome. And if you have not played the Arizona Sunshine, the original game, this is a perfect time to do it. If you own the original game, it only costs $10 to upgrade to the remake version. So it was awesome that they did a discount for the original owners and didn't decide to charge full price. But yeah, using that axe and knocking zombies out and stuff like that never gets old in this game. It is super, super fun. I love the remake version, and it's obviously the way that I play the game. The original version has no reason to exist anymore. It's still about 6 to 8 hour game as well, where most of these games land. Super fun. Arizona Sunshine remake coming in at number 8. The next one here coming in at number 7 is Resident Evil 4. So this game is awesome. Obviously, a lot of us have played this on the GameCube back in the day, and the fact that it got ported over to VR. But I think what was more surprising to me is the fact that not only did it get ported over, and it's actually a great game, but it's now my preferred way of playing the game. I don't even care about playing the GameCube version, which is the one I always used to play before, because I feel like this game was made for VR and always should have been in VR. That's how good the port was, and that's how good the game actually feels and plays in VR. It makes it a much more scary game to play. The puzzles are more fun to do. Killing the enemies obviously are more fun. Everything about the game is just better done in VR, in my opinion. It's a definitive way to play the game, and the full entire game that you guys expected from the original is still here. 6 hours or so to get through the initial playthrough of the game. But man, what a fantastic way to relive, us all playing Resident Evil back when we were kids, and being able to play it now in VR and in a whole new perspective, and it actually be better than the original is, I think, something a lot of us didn't expect. Resident Evil 4 coming in at number 7. The next one here coming in at number 6 is a sequel to a game that we already talked about on this list, and it is Arizona Sunshine 2. Obviously a sequel to the original game that we talked about on the prior to this list, and they did everything you could have wanted in the first game and made it all better in the second game. The graphics were improved, the physics were improved, the gunplay was improved, there's more weapons in the game. The story's longer now than it was before by a couple of hours. The story is more engaging and more fun to play, in my opinion, and actually go through. These zombies all react in better ways. The environments are more detailed and more expansive than they were before. So everything that you could want in a sequel is kind of here. I think they knocked this one out of the park. If you don't want to play both games and you just want to jump into the second one, you can. But after the remake came out for the original, and now having this one, I would urge you guys to play them both, because they're obviously really good games in VR. They're fantastic in their own ways. And then you can appreciate the second one even more when you actually get to play it. But yeah, Arizona Sunshine 2 coming in at number 6. The next one here coming in at number 5 is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. Obviously, this is a sequel to their original game, and this is another one that kind of falls into that same camp where I'm going to say everything about the sequel is better than the original. More so that I didn't even put the original on this list, and I don't think you need to play it. This takes place in the same environment and in the same map as the original one did, which a lot of people were nervous about, but it feels completely different because new areas of the map are open, new locales that you can go inside and interiors to go inside. Even the map itself has still gotten a makeover and kind of changed, so it's not like they just left everything the same. The physics in this game are even better than the original, more weapons and stuff to actually play with. The missions are better. Obviously a bunch of side quests and stuff. 10 plus hours of gameplay in this one. Scavenging around, going out at night, trying to scavenge for supplies, watching the zombies and stuff like that. And the physics of killing these zombies never gets old, using like a chainsaw or whatever you find out there, weapons and stuff like that, always feels satisfying, just like it did in the original, but even better here in the sequel. If you guys are Walking Dead fans, this definitely feels like The Walking Dead. It feels like you're in that kind of scenario, and it's super, super fun scavenging for supplies and trying to survive the night and go through the story. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution coming in at number 5. The next one here coming in at number 4 is Metro Awakening, a game that we got relatively recent ago, like a month or month and a half ago. And another one that kind of surprised us when it got announced, because a lot of us didn't think that we would get a Metro game into VR when it first got announced, and we did. And this is a full-on Metro game, as you guys would expect from the, from a game like this. And it has all the same feels of Metro, all the weapons, all the environments, the survival aspects, a little bit of the horror gameplay as well that you guys expect from the Metro franchise. It's just a really fun game and a great surprise that it first got announced, and they did such a good job making this game. Vertigo Games usually kills the games that they make, and they definitely killed this one in my opinion. I'm having a blast playing this through on the Quest and also on PC, and the graphics are really good on the Quest. I don't think they're crazily improved on the PC version. You can tell it's more like a Quest port, but I'm still having fun playing both versions and kind of getting the higher resolution on the PC. And yeah, the game is fantastic, and I definitely urge you guys to check it out. Metro Awakening coming in at number 4. The next one here coming in at number 3 is Skydance's Behemoth. This is a game that a lot of people were anticipating. This is a full-on action RPG, and this is, what you guys would expect when you're thinking about things like Oblivion and Skyrim and stuff like that, that people kind of wanted a full-length game like that in VR, and that's exactly what we got with this game. It's a really, really awesome game created by, the people who made The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners and stuff like that you guys just heard me talk about. It's a full open world game. Check it out. Skydance Behemoth coming in at number 3. The next one here coming in at number 2 is Batman Arkham Shadow. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I'm a huge Batman fan, and I love the Arkham series. I've played every single one. I remember still playing the original back on the 3D Vision in 3D when it first came out on PC, and I've played every single one ever since. I love the Batman franchise and the Arkham series, and when they announced that this game was coming, I was a little worried, because I was like, how are they going to do the Arkham franchise, justice? Especially because the last game from Arkham didn't do that well in the 2D space. And I was a little nervous, but hey, they knocked it out of the park. This is one of the best games of the year that came out this year. Easily in the top 3. And wow, they knocked it out of the park. The environment that you're in, the graphics are really, really good. One of the standouts on the Quest so far. Everything that you could want in a Batman game is in this game. The story, the gameplay, the action, the way that you do combat feels exactly like the Arkham series, but done in VR. And it just all works super, super well. If you guys are even a little bit of a fan of the Arkham series or Batman in general, this is the game to get right here, especially right now where you actually get a free copy of it if you buy a Quest 3 or a Quest 3S throughout the holiday season. So I wouldn't miss this one. If I were you guys, it is so good. Batman Arkham Shadow coming in at number 2. And the number 1 game on this list that we got to talk about is Asgards Wrath 2. And even though it is the most expensive game on the list, if you guys didn't get this for free with the Quest last year at the end of the year when it came out, it is the best and longest game on this list as well, as far as how long the gameplay is and how much there is to do. This is an action RPG, obviously a sequel to the original game that they made on PC, and now we have a sequel here on the PC and on the Quest, and this is everything that the first one was dialed up to 11. The only thing that the sequel didn't do as good was obviously the graphics, because the first one was on PC, but everything else here is just better. There's more story, more action, more weapons to collect, more things to do. The open world feels better. There's so much to do in this game. It's easily a 50 to 60 hour game. If you're looking for a Quest game that really shows you how big a game can actually be and still keeps you engaged throughout the whole entire thing, and you don't believe that a Quest game can ever be 20 to 30 hours long, well, here it is. A game that is 40 to 60 hours long, depending on if you want to complete it. So much to do. The rifts in the game are super cool. They're all unique and have their own puzzles and combat that you need to complete and stuff like that. I'm still exploring this game to this day, not even close to finishing it. And it's an awesome sequel. Like I said, everything about it is better than the original besides the graphics, but they knocked it out of the park. I've never seen a Quest game do this much and look this good. Asgards Wrath 2 coming in at number 1. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this list of my top 12 favorite long and full games on the Oculus Quest platform. No more saying that the Quest doesn't have fully featured games, because that has been complete nonsense. And it's even more nonsense after the releases that we got this year that you saw on this list as well. All the links to the games, if you guys want to support the channel, I have affiliate links to all the games down below. It helps me out, and you guys get a discount on the games as well. So check those out if you guys want to support me, and I appreciate you guys all for watching. Until next time.